Investigators in Weld County have identified a young woman killed in a shooting in Greeley Sunday morning. Police found Sierra Mininger shot inside her home. She later died at the hospital. Denver 7's Sam Pena spoke with her father, who was there for her final moments.
Joaquin Mininger says he lived through his worst nightmare Sunday morning as he watched his daughter, 24-year-old Sierra, die in his arms. Joaquin and Sierra were living in the same home at the time, and Gabriel Esparza, her ex-boyfriend, was also present when the shooting happened.
She was one of God's best creations.
A memorable smile that lit up the room.
Her smile and everything just soothes me.
Joaquin Mininger spends his days admiring the photos of his beloved daughter, Sierra.
Every photo is my favorite of her.
He spent the last 2 years as her roommate.
I just thank God that I had the opportunity to live out the rest of her life, the last 2 years with her.
He spent his Sunday morning holding her in his arms as she passed away.
Reassuring her that I loved her and that I'm here for her and if she could hang on. It's the worst thing anybody could go through.
Joaquin says Sierra's ex-boyfriend Gabriel Esparza woke him up Sunday morning around 6. When he ran upstairs, he found Sierra bleeding from a gunshot wound.
It's like a bad dream. I just needed to hold her and hold her wound and wait until paramedics got here.
Greeley police say Esparza initially gave conflicting stories, but in an arrest affidavit they say he admitted to liking the game Russian roulette, pointed a gun at her saying he didn't know there was a bullet in the chamber, pulled the trigger and shot her.
And he'll have to live with that every day, waking up and going to bed, that, you know, he did something that hurt a lot of people.
Joaquin now says he'll take on a different role as a grandfather to Sierra's 3 beloved dogs and her cat.
She wanted a family. She really wanted a family. That's why she had so many pets. That was her starter kit for a family.
He now sleeps in her room.
Laying in her bed and knowing that was the last place she was, it does bring peace to me.
Unable to escape the memory of what he lost.
I wake up every morning with that in my head.
In Greeley,
she deserved to have a good life.
Sam Pena, Denver 7.
Esparza was arrested on first-degree murder and domestic violence charges. He has 2 previous arrests in Weld County and pleaded guilty to illegally firing a gun in 2021. Sierra's family plans on holding a funeral next week. They have a GoFundMe up to help with the costs. You can find a link to that on our website, denver7.com.